Okay guys, now we're going to create a blog page which will display our blog posts. So we'll come up here to our menu and we'll click blog. A blog page is a great way to display all your blog posts so that they're easily accessible to your visitors. Once you're on the blog page, we'll come up here and click Enable Visual Builder. And we're going to build this page from scratch. So we'll come down here and click Start Building. I'm going to choose a one column row. And I'm going to insert a text module. So click Text. I'm going to save this to close it because I want to put in my background image first. So come up here to the section module settings and click the gear icon. Click Background. Click the image icon. Click Add Background Image. Click Upload Files. Select Files. And I'm going to navigate to my website folder. And here's my header image, so I'll choose that. Click Open. And once it's done uploading, I'll come down to the right and click Upload an Image. And you can see my nice antique typewriter here. Next, what I want to do is I want to add a color overlay. So I'll come over here and click this icon. I'll click Add Background Gradient. And I'm going to scroll down here and choose my first color. I have that all set up here, so I'm going to go to my website folder. Here we go. Copy this. I'm going to close this. Come over here and I'll right click and paste and click the green check mark. Now the second color. Come back here and I'll copy this. Close this. Highlight, right click, paste, and click the green check mark. And as you can see, you can't see the cover overlay. And that's because we need to scroll down here and click this button, Place Gradient Above Background Image. So once I click that, now you can see my bluish color overlay here. So I'm going to save the changes. And next what I want to do is come in here and add my blog title. Oops. There we go. So I'm going to get rid of this dummy text here. And I'm going to type blog. And I'm going to highlight it, come up here and choose heading 1. And I'll go to design, heading text, and it's already set to H1. I'm going to change it to the Montserrat font, keep our font scheme consistent. I'll leave it regular. I'm going to come down here and I want it to be white so it stands out. You can see it a lot better now. And I'm going to make it larger, so heading text size, I'll grab this and drag my mouse to the right. And I'm going to bring it to, make it 48 pixels. And one more thing I want to do is I want to have it centered in the page here. So I'll come up here to heading text alignment and click the center alignment button. There we go. Save the changes. And I'm going to go ahead and open this menu and save the page. Okay, next what I want to do is I want to see a little bit more of my blog header image here. So I'm going to go back into the section settings, go to design, and then I'll go to spacing. And I'm going to add some top padding. And you'll see as I click and drag to the right, it adds some padding to the top. I'm going to bring this down to, bring it to 100. That looks good. I'm going to keep that there. So I'm going to save the changes. Next I'm going to create another section. So I'll click the blue circle here. It's going to be a regular section. And I'm going to choose a one column row. This time I'm going to add a blog module. So I'll type blog. And I'll click blog here. And here you can see it adds all my blog posts. So if I scroll back to the first one here, you can see this is the one we just added. And I'm going to come down here and you see it says post count. By default, it'll show 10 blog posts on the page for each blog page. Because I only have 6 blog posts, it's only showing 6. If you want, you can increase this number or decrease it. Let's say I type in 2. And now it's only showing 2 blog posts on the page. So I'm going to go back to the default here. And included categories, if I wanted to, I could click all categories. And of course, it'll show the blog posts in all categories. And if you remember, when we created this blog post, we create a new category called social media. This is the category right here. So if I scroll down here, you can see they each show their category. This is people. If I wanted to, I could click this off. And let's say I only wanted to show blog posts in the travel category. And now it'll only show the 2 blog posts that have the category travel, as you can see here. So I want to show all categories, so I'm going to uncheck that. And now it's showing all the categories here. If I scroll down here, date format. This is a date right here. So you can see the format is month, day, and year. I'm going to leave that like it is. Post offset number, I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just going to leave it default. If we go to elements, we can click on and off these certain elements here. So show featured image, I could click that off. Show author, if I don't want to show the author, which is right here, I can click this button off. And now if I scroll down, it doesn't show the author. Same thing with categories. Now it doesn't show the category. I do want to show both of those. And let me see, I also want to show the read more button. Now you can see it has this read more. And if they click that, it'll take them to the actual blog post. And I do want to show the comment count. So if I click this button, you can see now it shows how many comments are at the end of the blog post. You can also add a background color if you want. And you can see this turn red here for each of them. Okay, next we're going to go into the design tab here. And for layout, you can see it's set to full width. You can also choose grid. So if I click grid, you can see it changes to a grid layout. I happen to like that better. And that way they can scroll down, and if I had 10 blog posts, it would show 10 of them here. One thing I want to do is I want my section here, my row, to be wider. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to go into the row settings, click the gear icon. I'm going to go to the design, sizing, and I'm going to equalize the column heights, and I'm going to make the max width 80%. There we go. I like that better, so I'm going to save the changes. And now you can see my blog posts are nice and even. Same size, and the row is wider. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my blog module. And I'm going to snap this to the left so it's easier for you guys to see. We're going to go to design. And we're going to go to, we already did layout, so now I want to go to overlay. I'm going to click this featured image overlay button. I'm going to click it on. And now what we can do is we can add an overlay icon that will show up whenever someone hovers over each blog post. So first we're going to give the overlay icon a color. I'm going to choose white. And now we're going to add an overlay background color, and that'll be the color behind the overlay icon that'll show up on top of the image. So I'm going to go in here, and I already have that set up as well. So I'm going to go to my website folder. And here's my overlay background color. So I'll copy that. Close this here. Paste it in here. Click the green check mark, and if I go here and see it's set to 45.45, this is the opacity slider. If I slide this up, it would actually make the color solid. And you can see now, you can see a solid color here. But I want my color to be translucent. So as I slide this down, it decreases the opacity of the color. I'm actually going to take it to, let me see, and we'll take it back to 0.45. There we go. I like how that looks there. You can still see the image behind the color overlay. Now we're going to choose the overlay icon, and if I scroll down here, you have all these icons to choose from. I want to choose these two dialogue balloons right here. And if I hover over, you can see our white dialogue balloons on top of the blue color overlay color. That looks good. So I'm going to close this menu here. Image. I'm going to leave that like it is. That's good. I want to style the title text, which is this text right here. So I'm going to make it Montserrat. And I'm going to make it, I want to make the color, actually I want to make it capitals. So I'll click here. There we go, that's better. And I'm going to make it the same color as the H2 titles that we did in our blog post. So I'm going to come over here, and I know that color is 0C71C3. It's a nice blue color. There we go. And I want to make some more space here, so I'm going to change the title line height to 1.2, and you see it gave a little bit more space. That looks good. You could also add a text shadow if you wanted. I'm not going to, I'm just going to leave it like it is there. So close this. Next is a body text right here. I'm going to leave that default regular, and what I want to do is make that a dark gray so it's just a little bit easier to read. There we go, it's a little bit darker. That looks good. I'll leave the size the same. Meta text is this text right here. I want to make this semi-bold, and I'm going to make it black so it really stands out. That looks good. The read more text, you can see it's the read more right here. Obviously that's a link, so I want to make that blue, and I'm going to make it the same blue as our title here. So we'll just come in here, and actually there's a easier way to do that. I'll just copy it. Come back here, right click and paste, and now you can see it's blue. Looks good. Pagination text, I'm not going to change that. Sizing, border, that looks good. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a simple animation. We'll add a fade so that these fade in like that. And I think that's it. Looks good. I'm going to save the changes. And now you can see we have this nice overlay color, but we can still see the image because we made it translucent. We have our cool little overlay icon of these dialogue balloons. We have a nice blue title that matches our website color scheme. We made this meta text black, and we chose to show the comment count. We made the body text a little darker, and we also show the read more button link, and we made it blue to match the title color. That looks good. I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Oops, I just realized we're not quite done with this page yet. We still have to add our footer at the bottom here. So we'll come down here and we'll click this blue circle to add a new section. We'll click Add from Library. and we'll click footer. There we go. Now we're done. And we have our footer here. I'm going to go ahead and save the page.